Curious. Today we got a birthday to celebrate. Vance Brand is 92 years old today, and he was the commander of a man who we're going to celebrate. Sam Durrance passed away last Friday, and he was a great guy, an astronomer. He basically built the telescopes that flew to space, and they're trying to restore those telescopes, they being the friends and colleagues of Sam Durrance. So you're gonna learn a little bit about him, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about Julie Payette, the Canadian astronaut who was a big government official in Canada. She's been on the Space Coast the last 3 days, and thoroughly delightful time with her. She's going to show pictures of Marty and our boss with Karan Conklin with Julie Payette. And end the show a little bit, a reflective note as we think about Sam Durrance and we think about what was your Earthrise moment. The Earth rising over the moon is such a monumental thing of Apollo 8. It changed the whole way we looked at our planet. And we're going to, with the artwork of Chris Calley and some inspiration from another astronaut, our good friend Nicole Stott, we'll think about what is your Earthrise moment and what that means to you. And what is an Earthrise moment? To me and to Nicole Stott in her book, this book here, Back to Earth, your Earthrise moment is when you wake up to the reality of where we actually live on a planet that is finite in its resources and how it keeps its human beings alive. So we're going to kick off a little bit today by saying first hi to Sylvan, who's running our board there. Thank you, Sylvan. Sylvan Trotter, our excellent employee here doing bookkeeping. And as he's learned at a nonprofit, anything they ask you to do, right, Melvin? Right. And Marty Winkle, my faithful co-producer for now in our 4th year and 800 and some episodes of Stay Curious. Marty will have a few comments about Julie Payette being out there today, and kind of what a pleasant surprise she's been to all of us groupies that go out there. And that's what we have behind us here. I keep forgetting which way to turn, Marty. That is the actual, that is at the gift shop. That's the 2nd floor. They renovated a little over a year ago. And that is the gantry that the Apollo astronauts walked out to their command module. It's right there for you all to walk across, just like the astronauts did. So, well, happy birthday, boy. Well, before I get to the birthday, talk about the shuttles of May. We're going to talk about them all through the month of May. Thank you, Selvin. I'll let you make that big up there. We did have the maiden flight of Endeavour, STS-49, already launched in the month of May in 1992. And coming up in a couple of days, we'll be celebrating the launch of the final mission to Hubble in 2009. That's the last time we got to see Hubble with human eyes, and yet it's in its 30th year doing amazing things, 33rd year. Still doing amazing things in cohort with the Webb telescope. And Julie Payette's mission there, STS-96, that we love to talk to her about. STS-34 on the left there was the last flight of Endeavour, and the last flight for newest Hall of Fame inductee, Mark Kelly, on there. And really an important mission, STS-124 to the Japanese there when they delivered the Kibo module, almost completing the entire structure of our International Space Station that's been flying overhead now for over 23 years and continuously occupied for 22 of those years by human beings. We got 7 astronauts up there right now, all men, no women orbiting Earth, 7 men on the International Space Station, and 3 Takyonauts on the Chinese Space Station. Can't forget about them. Well, happy birthday with the astronaut pin there to Mr. Vance Brand, and 92 years old today, born in Longmont, Colorado, May 9th, 1931, and he would have been a moonwalker if one of the canceled Apollo missions had flown. There's Vance at some event at the astronaut scholarship building there. I know where that picture was taken. Like I said, born in Longmont, Colorado, May 9th, 1831. He has helped our nonprofit in numerous occasions in many ways in the past 2 decades. And we love talking about the day that Vance Brand stopped by the museum. I'll tell you about that in the museum, completely incognito, paid his $8 senior citizen admission fees, and looked at a couple things, and he was out of here, okay? Brand was launched for his first space flight as the Apollo Command Module pilot of the Apollo-Soyuz test project. And there he is. Deke Slayton's in the background there. They were getting ready for that flight. There they got their bunny suits on around the spacecraft command module there. And that was a 1975 handshake in space. And Vance came into the museum to see our humble little Apollo-Soyuz that has a Deke Slayton patch there. Not sure what Vance donated to the museum, but he did. I know that is a docking hatch type of Apollo-Soyuz docking latch there that you see on the left. He may have brought us a real Apollo-Soyuz patch that was from 1975 in there. But he's highly decorated, 4 NASA service medals, the coveted Aviator Harmon Trophy, and he's been involved in DeMolay. Those of you that are involved in the DeMolay international movement that helps youth. And the Longmont, Colorado airport bears his name, among other things, around the world. Brandt's 4 flights were, of course, the historic Apollo-Soyuz test project, but then he had 3 space shuttle missions. And one of those, of course, was Astro 1 that he was the commander of. He was on the support crew, Vance was, on Apollo 8 and Apollo 13, and then backed up Apollo 15, and was backup commander for Skylabs 3 and 4 before going to his 3 space shuttle flights on there. So our story about Vance Brand, there he is on the Apollo-Soyuz test project going through the tunnel there in 1975. I bet he can't believe it's almost 50 years since that happened. But there he is about as he looked when he came into the American Space Museum, paid his $8 senior citizen fee, came over and looked at a few items and quickly left after leaving a note to our staff, to our godfather of the museum, Charlie Mars, who he knew real well, saying the museum looks great. When the note was immediately handed to our executive director, Karan Conklin, she came running out of the office saying, where's Vance? Well, he quickly left, happily seeing his space treasures, and was in the car and gone before Karan could catch him. But we love Vance Brand. He's always been there for the museum at our fundraisers. One of the great guys locally here. And we wish Vance Brand great health on his 92nd birthday. And I did call up our godfather, Charlie Mars, and said, you got to wish Vance a birthday. And I'm sure Charlie reached out to him today. So Longmont, Colorado, pride. Vance Brand, 92 years old today on May 2nd. There he is in space with the STS-35 crew of the Astro 1 mission. He's at the bottom there, and to my right, to his left there, is Sam Durrance, who passed away. The other astronauts you have of that crew were, let me see, that was Sam Durrance, of course. John Lounge has passed away, as has Robert Parise. Jeffrey Hoffman's in there. Guy Gardner, we've seen Guy talk several times, is the other astronaut in there with Dr. Parise. So the Astro 1 mission had 3 telescopes, and it was quite a mission where they had some communication problems they had to overcome. So, well, let's talk a little bit about Mr. Sam Durrance. Age 79, he passed away Friday. I want to grab what the family had here to say. He died Friday, May 5th as a result of complications from a fall. as reported by the Astro Restoration Project. That is a Facebook page that wants to find all the pieces and parts to these important telescopes that Sam put together. And he spent his last days in hospice care at a facility in Viera, Florida, his family said. His family says, a true scientist to the end and beyond, Sam asked that his body be donated to the support of ongoing medical research associated with astronauts who have flown in space. And he was chosen to train and build and fly as the Hopkins Ultraviolet Telescope, one of the instruments slated before the shuttle Challenger blew up. And then, of course, he had to wait till after that to fly. His wife, Becky, and two children, Ben and Susan, have one final wish for him that they posted on the restoration project. Before I get to that, there is the crew, how they all signed their names. Crew signed pictures like this can go for about $200 on eBay or auctions. And this was quite a difficult crew, STS-7035 and Astro 1. They had a lot of delays. They had a hurricane that had it pulled back in. And once they got to space, the computers wouldn't communicate with the telescopes and overheated because of some lint that was on the filters of these computers. This was about a 9-month process to get this mission launched because of various problems. Sam Durrance was born, I didn't tell you, in Tallahassee, Florida, on September 17th, 1943. So he was working on his 80th orbit around the sun. He considered Tampa to be his hometown. He was frequently over here on the Space Coast. Got his Bachelor of Science and Master's degree from California State University, and his doctorate in astrogeophysics from the University of Colorado in Boulder. One of the astronomers at Johns Hopkins University. He volunteered to become a payload specialist. He made observations of Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and Uranus while using the ultraviolet light telescope on the Astro 1. After his second flight, which was STS-67, Sam served as a director of science and technology for Final Analysis, Inc. I think I can advance to this meme that we put together for Sam. Beautiful picture of him there in front of the ET out there at the Kennedy Visitor Space Center complex, where he frequently was a part of the astronaut encounter program. Saw him talk a couple times out there before COVID, actually. After being an astronaut, he joined the team at the University of Central Florida and is also involved with Florida Institute of Technology in Melbourne. He became the executive director of the Florida Space Research Institute. And 5 years later, he had to retire because of illness. He taught and led research at Florida Institute of Technology, focusing on planetary science and human space exploration. His area of study included hazards associated with long-term exposure to the space environment, lunar dust physics, and detecting life on extrasolar planets. And Sam, with the research of the various telescopes around the world in space, helped discover over 5,000 planets orbiting 3,000 star systems, and Sam was on top of that. He joined the Commercial Spaceflight Federation of Suborbital Application Researchers Group and was involved in the F-105 starfighter jets, at the launch and landing facility at Kennedy Space Center, to prototype spaceflight hardware for NASA and commercial companies. So, and I talked to Mikey Haddad just a few minutes ago on the phone, who you are familiar with, does our monthly programs on the payloads. He wrote a book about it. Also, Scott Bongen was in here, and Scott, very close to Sam Durrance. In fact, Scott is the administrator of the Astro Restoration Project Facebook page, and Scott just simply said he was my best friend. he was going to be the backup astronaut, Scott was, if Sam couldn't go to space, and they become real close. And talking to Mikey Haddad, his comments about Sam was that Sam was brilliant and he didn't flaunt it. He didn't have to, he said. He wasn't one of these guys that had to impress upon you how smart he was in a group of astrophysicists or whatever. Mike even said he very rarely even let people know that he had flown to space. They just thought he was a brilliant astronomer until they looked into his resume. Did they find out that he'd been to space twice? Calm, methodical, and a fun guy to be around, said Mikey. He was the kind of guy I love to hear talk. Mikey Haddad said he just had so many great stories. He didn't bore you with them, and he didn't make himself the center of the stories that he told. So the family says this, and I've got this restoration project org up there. In that address, in lieu of flowers, the family asks that you make contributions to this project. And here's what the family posted on their website on the restoration project. The website of the Astro Restoration Project and its Facebook group. The family, which is his wife, Rebecca, and 2 children, said, "Hello, everyone. I am honored to be sharing with you a cause that is close to my heart. We have recently lost an incredible astronaut, Sam Durrance, who played a crucial role in the development of the Astro payload that flew on both Columbia and Endeavour space shuttle missions STS-35 and 67, respectively. As an astrophysicist and NASA astronaut, Sam designed and developed ultraviolet telescopes and instruments that were used on both missions. During the Astro 1 Columbia mission in December 1990 and Astro 2 Endeavour mission of March 95, Sam operated the Hopkins Ultraviolet Telescope, called HUT, which captured incredible data about the universe that was previously unseen by human eyes. This data helped astronomers better understand the composition of stars and galaxies, providing valuable insight into the evolution of the universe. Sam also operated the Ultraviolet Image Telescope, along with the Wisconsin Ultra Photo Polarimeter experiment, capturing breathtaking images of the universe and helping to understand the formations of stars and galaxies. The family continues by saying, to honor Sam's memory, we have launched a fundraiser for the Astro Restoration Project, ARP, in his name. ARP is a 501c3 not-for-profit all-volunteer organization that operates for charitable and educational purposes, promoting science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, STEAM education through the restoration and preservation of this astronomy payload. By supporting this project, we continue Sam's legacy and inspire future generations to pursue careers in STEAM. In lieu of flowers to memorialize Sam, we believe he would have wanted you to support the Astro Restoration Project. Your contribution will go directly towards restoring and preserving this significant piece of history that they hope to one day see in the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. Thank you for considering donating to this worthy cause, honoring the memory of an exceptional astronaut, Sam Durrance. Donations may be sent using PayPal or Give Lively via the Astro Project's website, or you can mail a check to the address that we show there in Titusville. Sincerely, the Durrance family. And we are honored as one of Sam's friends here at the American Space Museum to honor this request of the family. I got to meet Sam at one of our fundraisers 5 years ago, and he truly was a warm individual, loved to cut up. In fact, I got a cut up photo with him and some of the other astronauts there. And sadly didn't get to talk to him one-on-one on astronomy and have him on Stay Curious because of his illness. But we want to keep his memory alive, and we'll be posting this on our Facebook page. So if you want to contribute to the Astro Restoration Project in the memory of Sam Durrance, we hope that you are compelled to do so. So rest in peace, Sam. God bless you and all your friends that are missing you. Gone way too young. A youthful 79 years old was Samuel Thornton Durrance, born in Tallahassee, Florida, considering Tampa Bay to be his hometown nearby here. So, well, on a little lighter note to go out with here is there is the astronaut encounter. Yeah, go ahead and make that bigger there, Selvin. Are we hitting 4 to do that?
Yeah, don't touch it.
Okay, so a little glitch there, so we're not going to touch it there. As we've had some Streamlab programs. There's the exterior of the Universal Theater. And can I advance it, you think?
Yeah, you can probably advance it, yes.
Okay.
Stay on 3. It doesn't go the first time?
Up.
No.
There we went.
Yep.
We crashed. Or if we're live on air, all I did was hit the U.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's still,
So it's probably still on there as the computer's catching up there. Marty's going over to my computer. I don't think I've stuck it up there, Marty. DATA, DATA. That's my password, folks. Data. DATA, DATA. I'm sorry that we've gone blank here in our studio, so
is it uppercase or just?
all lower cases.
Yeah, you're still on.
Data. All right, so I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Well, we're waiting for what to happen? Selvin says we're still on, Marty.
Yeah, you probably are. So.
You have to go up at the top.
Hit refresh.
No, you're not. You're not in Facebook. Go up at the top. Let me just go offline here, folks, and I'll get that a lot quicker to do. That's my work. Here, over here. There it is there. Okay, so what are we doing to get back up? We are. Selvin's watching us. We're on. Okay.
It doesn't,
He's behind, but
it's behind.
no. Okay, now it's
Yeah, but it's still, we're still
No,
very
not that.
slow. Yeah, but afraid if I hit no, they were going to crash.
Okay, well, I'm back on set here.
You just run
So
it from there.
there we go.
Just run it from there.
All right, just do it from here. So finish the show from here, but I can I show the pictures? I can't see if I'm going live here.
Let me try and get it here. Hang on.
I don't, you can't see any pictures, so.
There'll be a delay.
So today we were out at the Space Center and saw Julie Payette, the former Canadian Governor General or whatever they were called as a vice president. And we were going to show you some pictures of that and a nice way to go out. But but what do you want me to do, guys? I can't show
Go without the images.
Well, I can't do it without the images. The images are what we're building on. So we'll just say, I'll tell you what, thank you all for being here with us today.
One thing, Mark. Hang on.
We can trim off this at the end and honor Mr. Sam Durrance.